let's get a few items out of the way. Right up top. Will and I have we recorded 3 different times that ended up in the trash. 1, I was dying. 2, mistakes were made. I addressed that. And so I'm a little confused as to what we've talked about and what we haven't. And also, we had some really good things we talked about, and we had some really funny things we said. We had a couple actually heartfelt conversations that I also liked, and you just can't recreate it. It's like I sort of think in my head, like, I want to talk about that again because it's so good, but you can't.
I don't even know what we talked about.
But one of the things I do need to bring up that we brought up twice is everybody from the Bad Family needs to go to Sad Radish's Instagram.
He's still married so long ago.
Adam Deladudu got married, and his pictures were so cool. And we talked about his outfit. We talked about the dress his wife was wearing because it was so cool too.
Sleeves.
The way it is, just the whole vibes.
Bolo tie.
We talked about how Will used to wear bolo ties.
And it has turquoise on it.
And then we talked about how Adam was rocking the bolo at his wedding. So go to Sad Radish, Instagram, Sad Radish, all one word, extra H at the end. And scroll down past the book reviews and go to a picture of his wedding and just give him a note of congratulations.
Say, sorry, this is late. Bad Brothers podcast audio got screwed up, and I just found out about this.
Yes. Another thing, I made a joke about going to Rob's because I was moving to Gig Harbor. And by the time you're listening to this, I have moved to Gig Harbor. And I joked that I was going to be at Rob's for dinner on the 19th because he invited me. But it'll be past the 19th when you listen to this.
And I said...
So many
I
things
don't even know what I said.
So many things were ruined.
Did I say hold on to your timbers because they're about to be shivered?
Yes, and I did a monologue, and
you did. I feel like in my mind, because I've listened to them, you've done 3 monologues.
Yes, and I did a monologue for Will the very first time. They were just off the not off the dome, but they were live, and they were laughs live. And then I had to go to Splat sound effects or whatever it's called.
Those were really good. I thought cheering.
As soon as I got I love that one.
I thought it was really authentic. It was like different claps, and then there was like the ones where
I know, I liked it. But then you could only download a certain amount in 10 minutes, so I had to. Anyways, pointless information. I'm out of practice. Well, I shouldn't be out of practice. We've been having too much practice.
I know. I'm tired of seeing you. But speaking of live monologues, I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge the fact that Norm Macdonald has left the building. And this is really sad because if you've been listening since the beginning, you'll know 2 years ago, Michael and I went to see Norm Macdonald in Seattle, and it was great, and he's hilarious, and he's one of my favorite comedians of all time. But also that was what sparked this podcast, sparked our renewed relationship. So without him, where would we be?
Where would we be? Yeah, it is kind of crazy. So yeah, that was a lot to think about. So now,
I almost cried.
Let me get there. If I were it's funny because I believe in some things, but not other things. And
Me
I
too.
will say, when did he die? Just yesterday? Tuesday?
It was announced yesterday. No, it was announced 2 days ago.
The day before he died,
Mm-hmm.
in my head, I was thinking about all day, like, I wonder when a celebrity will die that really affects me.
I was thinking that too, because who else died recently? That actor with the scar on his face.
Michael K. Williams.
Yeah. And someone else. But usually, like, when a celebrity dies, I'm just like tired of all the posts on social media. And I'm like, do these people really care? Or are they just posting it? Or,
Yeah, I mean, mostly you don't have any connection to them. There's people who sort of feel a connection to celebrities and stuff like that.
Like when Kobe died.
Oh, that's too much for me.
Like crying in the streets and all that stuff.
Well, I got a Kobe problem anyway because I never got over the raping and the...
Yeah.
And I hate... he specifically created the Black Mamba nickname as his, like, mentality to, like, get his reputation back after... I mean... he was found not guilty, or they settled, or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
But then in his speech after the trial was done, he basically almost like admitted it. Like, go back, it's weird. He almost like admitted it, but then it was bad for a while. But then he created the Black Mamba name to get out of the dark place he was in. It's like you were in the dark place because someone said no during sex and you were raping them. I guess.
I don't know. I don't know the story. I didn't care.
You were young.
I was young,
but anyway, so when people fawn over, it's like Michael Jackson too. It's just like
O.J. Simpson.
It's just like, say you like their music. Don't say that they're great. Like, don't make excuses for them. Like, say Kobe's a great basketball player. Say Michael Jackson makes great music, but don't fawn over them like there's some demigod,
Yeah.
And
what can I say except you're welcome?
And anyways, Kobe, that's so funny. But yeah, I was thinking about that. I mean, for me, celebrities are always at a distance. Even the ones I like, I know I'm realistic about, I don't have a connection to them. I watch their shows or read their tweets or listen to their music. There's nothing between me and them. So if they die, I'm able to go like, oh, sad for their family, sad for their friends, sad that they're not around to do what they do anymore. But it's just like that. But there's two things, which is Norm Macdonald. I just know so much. He's one of the celebrities, I guess, I know so much about. Like,
yeah,
I've listened to him so much. I've watched him so much. What he was pretty private anyway, but what he shared about himself, I've heard 1,000 times. So I just know about his son, and I know about his psyche, and I know, and so I do have like that more of a connection to him, but it's not that I have a connection like we're friends. It's just I know about his life more, so it
resonates
more real.
More with yourself.
Yeah, it's just real. And something like David Spade, he always posts like silly stuff every day, like Instagram, whatever. Mm-hmm. And it's always just stupid. It's just like off the top of his head, random. He's so funny all the time anyway, but then he didn't post any that day, or I guess it was yesterday. So he didn't post any yesterday, and then he didn't do any today. And for him, that's weird because he's like quantity guy.
Yeah.
And then I know that they're really good friends. And then you start to think like, oh man, that's, it must be so hard,
Right. He's probably having a hard time.
Yeah, but I was just thinking the day before, like, oh, what celebrities are going to die that really bug me? And then Norm Macdonald died the next day. So do you think I felt that somehow or intuited that somehow?
You felt a disturbance in the force?
I got some kind of aura or I got some like alignment.
Maybe.
You got a tattoo of the stars recently. Do you think I brought some
You're making it sound like
knowledge down from the heavens or something?
You make it sound like I'm a Tor R Us. Was that on a lost pod?
Tau
R Us.
Dang it! Butt crack jewelry was on another pod too.
Yeah, and Taurus, aka Tau R Us, like Toys R Us. Okay. I think you could have felt some energy, disperse into the universe.
Mm-hmm. The universe was preparing me, maybe in a way.
Yeah, the Holy Spirit.
It was giving me podcast
fodder.
But another thing I was thinking about this too is when you start getting older, just the people you grew up with and know from when you were younger. Not that I knew him that much when I was younger. I know him over the last, 6 or 7 years. But the older you live, the more people from your childhood and then even more people your age
just dying.
Start passing away.
Oh, yeah.
And I also think people used to revere celebrities more. Don't you think?
And what do you mean by revere?
You know how Beyonce is very, very private?
Yeah.
And yes, she's like very talented and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But I think because she's private, it's almost like mystical,
Yeah.
People, I know it's sort of like a meme to, the way people talk about her and stuff like that. And it's half silly.
Well, also in the past, it was like you didn't see their Instagram every day and their stories and the YouTubes and everything.
That's what I was going to say next is like, so.
You got to see them maybe the one time they came, close to your town, or you went and saw them somewhere, or you saw them on Johnny Carson or whatever.
Yeah, so maybe you always see them in tip-top shape. They're in the explosion movie or
And
they're on TV doing the funny
times,
thing. They're doing and it's a sexy guy
it's
or it's a sexy girl.
More mysterious.
Yeah, exactly. So there's just more space for there to be an aura about them. Not the kind of auras I feel, but the kind of auras they felt back then, which is, revered. But we don't do that with people anymore. I think that's part of it too. Why people don't get as sad.
Yeah. I'm trying to think.
That's what I'm saying about Kobe. It's like, don't revere them.
Bill Cosby.
Yeah, just like Cosby. People said, he was almost all comedians' like favorite comic for a long time. He was like the gold standard.
Okay, I'm proud. I need to stop because I was about to say a word and I was unsure if it was a real word.
Oh, don't Google before.
I had to because I didn't trust myself. Prominence. The state of being important or famous.
Prominence.
Yeah, prominence.
You're kind of saying it like promenade.
Yeah.
Which is?
A walkway. Is that right?
Yeah.
Prominence. Yeah, I'm kind of saying it fancy. Peanut butter.
Okay, so R.I.P. Norm Macdonald.
R.I.P. a legend. Norm.
Oh, yeah. Then I was going to say, yeah. And then it has the additional...
What was your favorite Norm joke?
My favorite Norm moment, I think, is the Crocodile Dundee. Well, I love the moth joke. Everybody loves the moth joke, so you kind of can't say the moth joke, but...
I think mine might be when he says he's a deeply closeted gay man on Larry King Live. And Larry King doesn't get it.
So confused.
Yeah, he's like, wait, so what are you telling us? I'm a deeply closeted gay man. Yeah, so what are you revealing to us here? Nothing. I'm deeply closeted. It just keeps going on.
He's like, wait, so you're gay? He said, no, I'm not.
Easy there, buddy.
Oh, yeah, easy there, buddy.
But also, whenever he like acts like nothing's going on, like there's this one, he was like doing the headlines and he's like, the new whatever hotel in Las Vegas is bringing thousands of people to Las Vegas every year for these shows and blah, blah, blah. You know what else is bringing thousands of people to Las Vegas? Whores. And it's like throws a huge side curveball.
He's got a bunch of radio stuff where he like pretended he was a ventriloquist. That's crazy. But yeah, he's like, when he did the crocodile... Wait, did I say Crocodile Dundee?
You did. Is that what you meant to say?
No.
Because I didn't know what you were talking about, but I didn't want to.
No, I was saying Croc Hunter, Steve Irwin.
Oh, yeah.
When he's on the Daily Show, along the early days of the Daily Show, and he was saying, you'll never guess who died. The Crocodile Hunter, Steve Irwin. Like, oh, really? How old is he? 44. That sounds like a ripe old age of a crocodile hunter to me. And then he starts like joking about the crocodiles like being upset that a fish killed him and not an actual crocodile.
Oh yeah, that's funny.
It's a good one. And so yeah, messed up his jokes, but yeah, then the connection to us, and it was kind of a weird. Yeah, it was the first celebrity I can really remember I mean, I hear about some things and you're sad for their family, but this was one that
yeah, like Robin Williams thing was sad, but like not as much for me.
Yeah. What else happened? Yeah, so a lot of episodes were deleted.
Yeah.
I hope you enjoyed Tami on the podcast.
Yeah, Tami, you filled in for me.
That was a last minute substitute.
Next time you fill in, talk quieter. Because I noticed like right away, it was like her voice. Nice voice. Good voice for radio. But you know, say some more inappropriate things, you know, throw in some more jokes that no one hears.
Yeah, it'll probably be another episode where people say like, oh, the funniest part about the episode was, and it's never me. Wait, not even funniest, because I'm okay with that. I'm okay with not being funniest. But at least one time in my life, just somebody say something I did was okay.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, Tami filled in.
I just have more, tweetable lines.
Yeah. Yeah, Tammy's voice can sometimes can approach the baby chipmunk.
What?
Kind of voice.
No, I thought she had it sounded good.
This is what I think helped her out. It was late, and we recorded in our bedroom, which is, of course, right across from the boys' rooms.
Oh, so you're trying to be quiet?
We were trying. It's like you need to have energy in your voice, but you don't want to go downstairs because what if the kids need something because they had just gone to bed? And So it's like you're trying to be quiet and trying to have energy at the same time. And for Tami, that equaled a nice resonant timbre.
Timbre?
Mm-hmm.
Timber.
It's going down. I'm yelling timber.
Who is that?
Kesha.
Kesha.
And Mr. Worldwide.
Mr. Worldwide. Kesha.
And also, I had a revelation about our previous recording session, which was that I was feeling under the influence. I tried to...
Oh, yeah. That's what I was going to talk about.
I tried to help my... Now, this was...
Wait, here was my perspective.
Wait, hold on.
Okay.
I... Honestly, I'm not like a thrill seeker kind of like out of the box kind of guy. I'm an in the box kind of guy. I mean, in most ways, I'm in the box. I'm out of the box in some ways. You know, some ways I'm way out of the box. But most ways I'm in the box.
I used to watch the show Out of the Box.
Out of the box. Out of the box.
Take one box, put it with another. Let's look for one that's long and wide. DJ Khaled.
Yeah, so I really had read some things about, because I was worried about not being able to get back on my pills. Can I help this thing? They help me so much. And some people said,
When you're talking about things that could help, I was waiting for you to say something like working out or like some.
Oh, yeah. Those things help, but they just help your overall.
Yeah.
And just slightly. This is more like a medicine.
Yeah.
But it was not a medicine. It was all the things I hate about what happens in my mind.
Was it
that happened in my mind?
So I didn't think it was only the one time when you said I keep forgetting what I'm saying is the only time I noticed.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like waiting for you to finish your sentence. So I was just like staring at you. So maybe but it wasn't because I was like, oh, he's acting so weird. Like if I never would have.
I didn't think I was acting.
I never would have known, and I didn't think you were acting different. I thought you just were forgetting. You forgot your sense, and you said that, but I wouldn't have like noticed or remembered or anything.
I think this is also why I noticed a lot is I do have some standards in my life, not many, obviously. But I do have some, and I do want to do a good job on this podcast, for what it is. I do want to do well on this podcast, and I want it to be a certain level of, entertainment or interest or quality. I'm not friggin' whatever. Who has a podcast? Dax Shepard over here.
Yo, Rogan.
I'm not Ho Rogan over here. But this was why. I think it was a recording sesh that was bad because I was having a freak out. Another recording sesh that we had to throw in the trash. And then we were doing a third one. And I was forgetting what
do we talk about? And we're out of things to talk about.
I felt like we had good conversations, but when I would get on a roll and then kind of need to punctuate it and hand the ball over to you.
I didn't know where you were going because you just like would stop. And I was like, where was he going?
It wasn't even, And so then I was like disappointing myself.
Oh.
You know what? And then I felt like I was letting you down because we were doing this again. And so it wasn't me taking edibles and not figuring out how to plug the USB in, because we did confirm the issues with the USB, so it wasn't anything like that.
So I'm never helping set up ever again.
I wasn't blazed.
I was going to ask how many milligrams was it?
It's only 10.
Ricky just said 10 lights him up.
I know.
Was it indica, sativa?
Sativa. Which I read. That's what people were recommending.
For the ADHD.
Yeah.
The sativa?
Yep. The sativa. But there's different kinds of ADHD. Maybe it helps some people and not others. But it's like, why not try?
Yeah. I wish I didn't have my job. I would have had it too.
Sativa.
Then this podcast would have been really entertaining. Hey. Yeah, so
It would be far less entertaining.
I know that was the joke.
I know. I was seconding it. So, anyways, thank you, Tam. Oh, how about this? How did you like?
Just blasted.
How did you like my Bible knowledge drop? Sometimes I'm afraid to.
Remind me?
Throw my image of God face mask and Mark of the Beast.
Oh yeah, I had been meeting up with some guys, and one of the guys there was big on all the like end times, Mark of the Beast, all that stuff. So I would always joke around with him, like when I got the vaccine, I got it on this left arm, and I was like, I just got the vaccine, and he's like asking me about it, and I was like, yeah, and look what happened to my arm, and I got him like all worked up first. And so then I lifted up my sleeve, and it was my tattoo of a skull and snake right where I got the shot.
You have a Dementor tattoo?
Yeah.
Oh, dang.
My boy.
I got my vaccine right in the middle of my forehead. That's weird.
I know. I said I made sure not to get it on my right hand, because then it's not the Mark of the Beast, even though it is 666 on my left hand. No. Lauren and I were watching Harry Potter, and I was like, those are the Death Eaters. She's like, the things that suck the soul out of you. And I'm like, no, those are the Dementors. Like, get it right.
Gosh. Wait, does she not have any Harry Potter background at all?
No. She like read the first one and like maybe saw one or two of the movies. Wow. So we're blasting through them.
Wow.
We're number 5.
Yeah, so I have a bunch of useless knowledge I can't share on the pod because it's just boring.
Right. Oh yeah, so
but anyways, I have to throw it in there sometime.
I like to hear about it, and I've been hearing about it. Like, I think it's like this week or next week is the Feast of the Trumpets, and that's when like he thinks the rapture is going to happen.
I wondered why I forgot it was Yom Kippur.
Right. That's what it is.
Your block is block party tonight.
That's every day or every week. They have outdoor church
on Wednesdays.
Yeah. Some day of the week, I don't keep track.
Well, I'm not usually here on Wednesdays.
Right. Yeah.
I was surprised.
Temple Bethel.
I didn't know Jews showed out like that.
They do.
Only because I don't know that much about Jews.
Apparently, this is a real Jewy area.
It is. There's a temple. Bethel.
Not to be confused
House of God.
Bethel Road. Which also has a Bethel temple on it by the fire station.
House of God. House. Oh, God. Bethlehem, house of bread.
Ooh.
See?
Bethel.
You want me to do a podcast about that? No, you don't.
What is it? House God? House God.
House God. That's Martin Garrix.
Martin Garrix.
He's not House God. That was just the first name I could think of.
I know. I was trying to think. Is he the one that just had that commercial with the parrot hitting the drum?
Okay, I do have a serious thing. I will, because it's sort of I don't know if it's interesting or not, but I was moved to tears this weekend.
This weekend?
Not about Norm.
Yeah.
Now, I've been off my pills, so
Right.
I've been moved to tears more easily. Oh, I watched Reservoir Dogs.
Okay.
No, not Reservoir Dogs. That's what it's a jokey name off of. It's called Reservation Dogs.
Yeah.
And they had a sad episode.
Okay.
But then they had a sweet moment at the end. I didn't cry.
I have something to say about Reservation Dogs, so don't let me forget.
Okay, I didn't cry at the sad moment, which was very sad.
Well, like the sad moment that's like put up on the pedestal and like the music's playing and it's like that's the lead up to that moment in the episode.
Everybody knows it's a big part of the show that their friend committed suicide. But this episode, they
showed it.
They do flashbacks and blah 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 blah. But then at the end, she has a sweet moment, and then I cried then.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I got a tear. I wouldn't say I cried.
Yeah.
But this weekend, Tami's sister Stacy was in town.
Was this the 12th?
Or
11th? Saturday?
We were talking about it Sunday. So,
Okay.
No, the 12th. You're right. Correct. Dude,
I know.
Your energy reading is on point tonight.
That's because I got the star tattoo.
And
Tower us.
Anyway, she is the head wound care nurse in Wenatchee.
Mm-hmm.
There's a hospital there. And when you're in Wenatchee, there's not a lot of hospitals closer. You got to go far. So
tell me about
if you got to go, you got to go there.
Through on the train, we come through a bunch of nothing.
But here's the thing.
And then go through a bunch more nothing.
If you are one of the people who work at the hospital
mm-hmm.
and you yourself need to go to the hospital, you got to go there.
Yeah.
And it's all the people you know taking care of you or whatever.
Yeah.
So anyway,
it's like in Grey's Anatomy when the old director comes and they're working on him, you know.
I didn't watch past the first or like the second season.
Well, that you would know what I'm talking about then, because that's as much as I watched.
But anyway, Stacy is her name, and then she was having
Stacy's mom.
She is just like the stress of everything with COVID and nursing shortage, and then people quitting over the vaccines and everything. And then, but the reality of just seeing people dying there every day for 2 years straight, you know, like hospitals, they just aren't designed to have, that's why ICU beds are, you know, all maxed out. They're not designed for pandemics. They're designed for, you know, what happens in those 100 years between pandemics, where you just, sometimes you go there when you get in an accident or you have a surgery, but the majority is just like normal stuff for most people.
Yeah.
So anyway, she was just stressed out about that, not, you know, just kind of venting about everything, but also she shared a story about one of her coworkers got COVID in December, and it was one of the people who like ended up on a ventilator and everything and like nearly dead. Like they had the candlelight vigil for her and everything because it was going to be the end. And she was just talking about like everybody taking turns, like caring for their coworker. Cause I think she was on a ventilator for, I don't know, a few weeks or something like that. And it was like, I mean, it was literally like, you know, she was going to die. And she still has like brain damage and everything from it. And anyway, but she was talking about all the coworkers and friends and everybody being the ones to go take care of her and, change her bed, change her, she's going to the bathroom.
Right,
She's, they're monitoring her meds or watching her heartbeat. And it's just like somebody you love, somebody you care about. And it's different than just a family member seeing them in the hospital. It's like kind of surreal because it's like sometimes with nurses, it's like, yeah, you're doing these things that are like life and death for the people you're caring about, but you do it so often that there's a little bit of dissociation, So then it's a little, all this COVID situation, it's so out of the ordinary. It doesn't allow you to just coast. And that's why they're so stressed out. That's why they're so burnt out. That's why they need to call. And, she's like, can I just vent to somebody outside the medical, world?
Yeah.
But then to really be snapped into reality with a coworker, seeing a coworker just dying every day. And oh man, she was talking about it, and I was trying to say something back, and I just couldn't. It was so sad to me.
Yeah.
And anyway, what we ended up talking about, she's like, there's still people in our department and stuff that did not want to get vaccinated and everything like that. And she's like, I just can't, our friend was, on death's door. And, same thing as all the hospitals, like, 99% of their patients are unvaccinated people.
Yeah.
99% of the people who are like dying, they're all the unvaccinated people and everything. She's just like, it's so crazy that just like, this is our friend. And yeah, I don't know if it's the pills or whatever, but it was so sad. And I don't know, it is kind of crazy because I catch myself, I don't want to be like the cynical person all the time or mad at, people. Yeah, there's a gray area for some people, but it's the people I see myself getting mad at and stuff in my head. It's just like, yeah, but you can't just deny the existence of everything and act like it's one to say like masks, I hate masks, or you might even be a little scared of vaccines.
Or even like, like if you, you agree that, there is a, the virus and whatever, but you just maybe don't agree with how like the government is handling everything.
Exactly.
Like, things like that.
But people who just kind of, and it's definitely ideological, thinking. It's just like acting like it doesn't exist or whatever. It's just crazy to me.
Yeah.
If you know anybody in the healthcare world right now, you should have like the utmost like patience, find something to do for them, be nice to them.
You see a nurse out in the wild,
give them a big kiss on the lips.
You see one at Fred Meyer or something, just go up to him and say, hello, nurse.
So, yeah.
And tell him you have baloney in your slacks. Is that too deep of a
No, I got it.
Okay.
We're Animaniacs.
Back to Reservoir Dogs.
Oh, yeah. Great show. Bill Burr was on this
but
week.
It's
he was the coach.
Reservation Dogs.
He was wearing a bald cap.
Bill Burr was wearing a bald cap?
He was bald in the middle.
Isn't he already bald?
Not the way this was.
Oh.
It was full like...
he added hair. Because he's bald.
Oh, yeah. No, I think he shaves it, though.
Oh. So
I wonder what his shave... Yeah, you're right.
He had this. He had the horseshoe.
Yeah, they made it... Yeah, he had the horseshoe. They made it so he didn't have... Yeah, that is... I was trying to figure out what the deal was. I guess they didn't want to have stubble on there or anything.
Anyway, I don't know if I talked about this in the last 4 missed podcasts or not, but since going to San Diego and going to Del Mar horse racetrack, we've been going to Emerald Downs. We've gone twice.
Betting the ponies.
So we went down there this weekend, the 11th. It was Indian relay racing. And so it's all different tribes from all over the place.
It was just weird when I said it.
Yeah.
I would say Native American.
I'm saying it because
they say it.
The flyers all say Indian. The casino that I drive by every day says Puyallup Tribe of Indians. And so I'm saying Indians.
Oh.
Sorry. It's called Indian relay racing. Anyway. Cancel me. Anyway. Yeah. So they did like the normal horse racing, but then there were 3 Indian relay races. And so there are.
I know like a white person's relay race. So it's like it's like a 3-legged race.
So this is what it is.
A gunny sack and
what's a gunny sack, by the way?
The wheelbarrow.
Oh yeah.
Or a wheelbarrow race. That's probably like a white
The egg on the spoon. Egg on the spoon.
That's like a white people relay race.
Yeah.
What's an Indian relay race?
Or when you got to hold the balloon in between your stomach with someone else and like side crab walk.
And then you got to pop it on.
Yeah. No, so Indian relay race, they're on a horse. You start on a horse.
Egg on a spoon. I'm still laughing with it.
Egg on a spoon. So you start on a horse, and this is all bareback. No saddles.
Yeah.
Just the way I like it. And then there is, so they go around, they go around
They go around what?
The track.
Barrels?
The horse track.
Okay.
They go halfway, and there are people standing there. There's a guy called a mugger. And then there's a horse there and another guy. So there's a guy holding a horse. There's a mugger. And there's now a guy running at them on a horse.
Okay.
Galloping towards them. You have to jump off your galloping horse.
Do you know the different gaits of the horse? Because there's gallops and there's different ones.
Full speed. It's a race.
Okay. Because I don't think that's a gallop. But
gallop, trot. That's all I know.
Walk. Basic walk.
Standing still. And so they jump off the moving horse. The rule is both feet have to touch the ground, and then they jump onto the next horse. And then the mugger has to grab the still running horse. They jump off like mid-run. Has to grab it and catch it, or else you get disqualified if the horse runs around, which happened once. He just kept running around with no one on him. And
so it's like a baton if your baton was a beast.
No, the baton is the human. There's 3 beasts. So then they come around another halfway and get on again.
He's passing the horse to the guy. Or is the horse passing the guy to the other horse?
Yes.
Good question.
It's the horse passing the guy because there's.
But you said the horse has to be captured, so in a way, the rider is passing the horse to the guy.
Yeah, but he gets on another horse.
I know that's a different. It's not a 1-to-1 analogy.
So in a baton relay race, the thing that stays the same is the like baton.
I know.
So the thing that stays the same in this one is the human.
Okay.
And so he gets on a different horse, goes around another half, gets on another horse, goes around. They do 2 full laps.
Same setup.
Yeah. So
at each muggers.
Yep. So there's 2 sets of muggers, horses, and holders, and then one racer. So they're going around. So it's pretty crazy.
Lauren only likes things where an animal's involved.
Maybe.
Is that what her deal is?
Maybe.
Like her recreation has to involve an animal.
Or food.
Dead animal.
Sure. And so that was crazy. But then they also did, they had like the little like drum circle singing thing. I forget what that's called. They had like the hoop dance. They have
The
like
hoopty dance.
yeah, where they have all the rings and like make the different animals with all the rings. It's pretty crazy. They like put them on their arms. That's a eagle. They put them like.
Does it look like it, or you just know?
It looks like it. They do
I've never seen that.
alligator, and then they do like snake.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. And so it was a lot of culture. It was really cool. There was some girl there that was like won some singing competition, some like national singing competition. It's really good.
What? Let me guess, Lauren.
No. No. But no, she's from one of the tribes. You know where a ton of
But Lauren just is rolling her eyes in the stands.
You know where a ton of the race teams were from? Browning, Montana.
Oh, shut up.
Yeah. And you want to know another fun fact? The train stops there.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
You gotta head over there, dog.
Yeah. The Browning Res.
Is that where the guns are from?
No.
No, that doesn't make sense because...
No, because it's a really...
Browning Res?
It's a really poor reservation.
That doesn't sound like the name of a...
It's not... No.
That doesn't sound like a
native
name.
There's a reservation there. Like, that's like... That's the majority of the people that live there.
Was it the Brownings who did that to them?
Maybe.
Or it just happened to be?
I don't know. Okay.
You brought it up. You literally brought it up.
Well, I gave you a fun fact, and you're asking for extra facts. I don't know. But it was fun and interesting.
Fun.
But here's something crazy. We were, betting on horses. You only have to bet like $2 minimum. So it's fun to just, put a couple bucks on. It gives you some, someone to cheer for.
Do you do the race? You do the thing where you're like, this horse on this race, what's it called? Where you bet the different races?
Yeah. So normally I just do like this horse to win or this horse to get like top 2. But it was the last race of the night. And so there was like 50 cents left on my little ticket. And so I said, I'll take this 50 cents and I'll try to pick a trifecta, which is the top 3.
Oh, yeah.
In that order.
Ooh.
It has to be exact order, and it has to be obviously the 3 horses.
Right.
So I threw 50 cents in and pick 1, 6, 3.
And if you win, you get $50.
It came out to where it's happening, the horse that I picked to win pulls out in front, of course. He's for a good almost half, he's in front. All of a sudden, falls all the way to the back, last.
Whoa.
I'm like, come on, man. Oxford Park, which is in Seattle. And so, he's coming around, and then he drops in the last. I'm like, gosh, everything's ruined. And so then, come back on that final stretch. He comes from all the way to the back, all the way to the front.
Dude, this horse is roided up.
Who's this guy? I think he is Seabiscuit. And so, turned out, got the 163, horse number 163. I got the trifecta.
You trifected it.
But I only put 50 cents on there because that's all that was like left on my ticket. I didn't. Yeah. And then, like, what are the odds?
Yeah. Well,
I wasn't just
something.
They're up there. And so the 50 cents came out to like, it's like $36. Nice. So it's like 60 times, like a little around 60 times, right? Because 60 would be $30, right?
My brain's in talk mode, not math mode. I can't switch over. Mm-hmm.
Well, half of 60 is 30. So it was like a little over.
I can't.
So it's like, even if I would have put $5 on there, that would have been like $300. And
that's how they get you.
I know. I couldn't believe that I actually got it.
That's going to be in your head now.
Next time.
Every time you go.
Yeah, I'm going to waste all this money.
It's like so easy. One time, I just put 50 cents and I nailed it.
Exactly. So yeah, that was pretty crazy. But that was a fun cultural experience. We were talking about like just in the Pacific Northwest, there's so much of that Native American culture. And did you do the Tillicum Village ever? Like when school field trip? I did that for a field trip. And we were talking about that. It was like one of the best, like most interesting field trips I went on, even like as a kid. Just like learn a ton. It's, they have like a whole like setup there, which is a more like traditional village. And they have like the longhouse, they have like the smokehouse, they do the whole like smoked salmon, how they do it over the fire and stuff. Yeah. And it was really cool. It's really interesting. So yeah. Oh, and speaking of almost crying this weekend, we get there, sit down, very first
horse racing tears.
Yeah, very first race. Right before the finish line, this horse just beefs it, goes up into the air, lands just all its body weight on its neck.
Beefs it. I was trying to. What's horse meat called? Because that's what that's what I wanted to say.
I don't know.
Dang it!
Just lands on his neck and then is just laying there.
Did they?
It was kind of moving, but it wasn't trying to get up.
Oh, did they bring the tent out?
They brought a curtain out, and some guy like ran out of the stands and jumped over the fence. I think he like was part owner or something of the horse. And then they brought out this big trailer that like comes down and like scoops him up and hauls him off. And I tried to Google what happened to it. I don't know.
I think you know what happened to it.
Well, his name was Salty Nugget.
Well, R.I.P. Norm Macdonald, R.I.P. Salty Nugget. Salty Nuggets, that was my nickname in high school. So anyways.
Mine was horse meat.
Beefed it. That was me. Anyways, hope you enjoyed this episode. Share it with a friend.
Mine was trifecta. I'm pushing
it. Okay,
I gotta go.
Share it with a friend. I'm a Geek Hardware. See me at the store.